Hello everybody and welcome to the Awesomenauts League with Bets! My name is SlowWolf and I'm going to be casting this series. Today we have the League series between Team Gallo and Team SKC. Now I don't have any personal knowledge of what Team SKC can do, however I have seen what Gallo can do. And they were frighteningly good in the last series that I casted, earning 2 very commanding victories in a 3-match series, earning their spot in the league. SKC also in this league, however, so I can only expect that they are going to be of equal skill. So this is going to be a very interesting match. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road in 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Now, as far as who's on what team, we have on the red team, Team SKC, their picks being Gnaw, Clunk, and Leon. On the blue team, we have Team Gallo, Dante on the Skull Deer, Yuri, and Coco being the 3 team members there. Psychic Bob, Johnny Person, and Wilbo Baggy. This is going to be fun trying to get the hang of all these people's names. But here we go. Match starting up, and the fight for the middle starting up already. Now, this is going to be a really important game because between Gnaw and Yuri, we both know that they're very defensive knots. We both know that they want the middle in this map in particular because access to this bouncer is critical. Couple of bites coming out. Dante getting tongue. Dante getting bit a little bit, and he's going to be fine though. The poison damage is not going to be enough to kill him or anything. He's just going to pick up some HP and get out of there. Now Dave is going to go ahead and toss out some lightning balls. Back to the picks. So on the red team we do have Gnaw. He is going to be the person who's going to try to control the middle area. He's going to focus on whatever lane the other team is not focusing on, and just trying to split push as best as he can with his weedlings. They also have Clunk, who's an excellent initiator if he can just get in their face. And Leon is going to help with that with his access to Tongue to be able to help move things a little bit closer to his friend. On the blue team, we've got Dante on the Skull Deer, Dave W on a Coco, and Yuri. Now this is a very interesting lineup, especially against the lineup that they're fighting. Coco is able to really harm Clunk's chances of being able to get off his Bite Snare Explode combo because of knockback on Coco Ball. Coco Ball missing there. Psychic Bob taking a little bit of damage, and everybody's just going to get back to resetting. Throw coming out on Johnny Person. Johnny Person getting mined. He's getting lasered. He's getting bit. Bit? Coco doesn't bite. Either way, he died though. So some really good teamwork out of the blue team. A really good throw coming out for Dante. So that there, clinching the first blood. Things are looking good for Team Gallo to begin with. But as I said, it's a really interesting team makeup and one that, oh, Dante going down to a really good tongue, back into the weedlings, back into poison, back into biting. So, back on the board, red team making it 1-1 here in this first match of the series. As I was saying, the blue team has a very interesting lineup against the red team. SKC going for a very Clunk-centric kind of team makeup here. They're relying on their Clunk to give them the early game. And their Leon to give them the late game, with Gnaw just to support and help out. The blue team, on the other hand, between the Coco and the Skull Deer, are going to have a very good time against this Clunk. They're going to be able to put him where they want, how they want, by knocking him all over the place with Coco Balls, or whatever else have you. Leon putting on some damage on the bottom turret here. Dante taking a spit, and everything's going to go right back to normal. But it looks like the lane equilibrium currently in favor of Team SKC, thanks to having a Gnaw who's just spamming weedlings. It's really frustrating and annoying to deal with. But a good Gnaw can really keep the lanes in his favor, and Psychic Bob is doing an excellent job of that right now. Dante going in, just trying to punch some weedlings. He gets tongued back into them and he takes some damage. Rather than that, he's going to be perfectly fine. The Coco down here is doing her best to keep these weedlings out of here. To get the weedlings out of the bottom lane, which is really important. Remember, that lane equilibrium going in Gnaw's favor throughout the entire early portion of the game could be very difficult. Johnny Person trying to get an explode out. Dave W going to get poisoned. He's going to probably die to it, and he does. Wilbo Baggy taunting his team's victory there. So, yeah, having the creeps over on the blue side of the field, just constantly going into the turrets, constantly getting shields, constantly just being a pain in the butt for Team Gallo, is proving to be a problem. It's for Team Gallo here. They don't have any real easy ways of clearing out these weedlings while they're on constant pressure. And the red team is not letting up this pressure. A couple of punches coming out. Coco going in. Missed bite. Punch coming out again, and it's not going to hit anything, unfortunately. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at our early items. See what everyone's going for in terms of strategy here. Now that this is a 2.6 game, there is access to the shop. People are buying items that they think are going to be useful in the situation that they are currently in. So this is going to be very interesting. Now Dante trying to go in for a couple of punches in an initiation, but he just couldn't quite find it. Psychic Bob is in a bad spot, and he just bounces out. Okay, never mind. Psychic Bob is going to be perfectly fine. Picks up the HP in the middle as well. So, in terms of items, seems like Psychic Bob is going to go ahead and pick up spit damage and just basic abilities. Otherwise, he's going to go for the typical build here, so that we can be very useful in the early game with his poison damage, helping just support his team's other damage. Like, you can't really rely on dot damage, so putting it out there is nice to have, but you need to have a team that can actually really secure kills. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. Johnny Person taking a bunch of punches. I'm guessing he got thrown. Now Dante helping clear out the middle of Weedlings. But it seems like things are going to kind of reset back to normal. Although Wilbo Baggy might have a different idea. Dave W taking a lot of damage. There is no tongue to come out, though. And is he going to be able to find the HP he needs? Is he going to die? He's not going to die. So, Psychic Bob not going to pick up a kill there. Unfortunate for him. Johnny Person goes back. Wilbo Baggy taking a punch. On the Clunk in terms of... oh, wait! That might have to wait. No, it's not going to have to wait. Now Dante is going to be perfectly fine, but he's also not going to pick up a kill. That's the thing with Awesomenauts. You can't really get into idle banter. If you try to get into idle banter or into talking about item builds or all that kind of stuff, there's bound to be someone that says, nope, you're going to talk about the action right now. It's going to feel really disjointed. But at least it looks like we have a lull, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. On the Clunk, we have a typical build. We've seen this before. Solar Tree into Bite, and it explodes. So he's going to guarantee he's going to get that solar as often as he can. He's also moving a bit faster, so that way he can actually try to land those explodes. No, taking a bit of damage. He's going to be fine, though. Tongue onto Nelodonte. Nelodonte getting a little bit cut up by the Legionnaire Leon. He's going to get out just fine. Legionnaire Leon also taking a fair amount of damage. He's just going to go back to farming up lane creeps. So the Clunk has a fairly reasonable build. He's just going into Snare, Bite, and to Explode. That's a very common, typical ability build. Leon picking up the tongue damage. He does not have stealth yet, so he's obviously going for the initiator role. That's going to be his big thing. Is he's going to tongue people into spit, into weedlings, into bite explodes. That is his role, like we figured at the beginning of the match he would be doing. A little bit of action coming out in the middle, but not much going to happen. Johnny Person going for the bite into the explode, but he gets thrown out of the way. Nelodonte doing a really good job there. Psychic Bob now in a bad spot. Nelodonte in a worse spot. He gets cut up. Is the spit going to kill him? No, he is not poisoned anymore, so he's just going to get out of there. And Psychic Bob and Wilbo Baggy really low. They need to be a little bit careful. If Nelodonte comes in and they're not expecting it, they might get picked off. But Wilbo Baggy reasonably goes back home. He's going to be perfectly fine. So, almost coming out to Johnny Person, but it's not going to be quite accurate. It's going to whiff, and he's going to be perfectly fine. So, on the blue team, we have Yuri. Yuri is picking up a couple of interesting items. He decided instead of going to mind damage, he's picking up the speed. First throw coming out, it's not going to hit anything. Whiffing completely, unfortunately. And things are just going to go right back to normal. Psychic Bob taking advantage of the fact that those cooldowns are down and placing some weedlings in the jungle in order to get a little bit of extra solar. Nelodonte abusing the... oh my goodness! Bite, explode, almost... and nope, that's a dead Yuri. Johnny Person's actually going to be able to get out of there in one piece. Really well played. Dave taking a bit of damage from the tongue. He's going to try to put out a Cocoa Ball to be useful, but it's not going to hit anything other than weedlings. And so Dave is just going to meander around and do his best to knock stuff off of his turrets and keep lane equilibrium away from his turrets. So, Yuri picking up the speed bubble first, which is not normally something you see. Oh, Nelodonte going in. Is he going to be able to find a throw? He is not. That's unfortunate for Team Gallo there. But they are going to go right back to punching stuff in the face as he wants to do. But there is a big push happening on the bottom. The red team sees it. Bites, snare, explode. Oh, not quite enough. It's not going to hit that guy. Nelodonte going for the throw. He's going to be able to throw in the Clunk and the Leon. The Clunk and the Leon are taking a lot of damage. Leon goes down. Johnny Person goes down. Everybody ended up dying there almost. Like half of the players in this game ended up dying. That was a really cool fight. And Gallo ending up on top of it, but it's not quite over yet. Psychic Bob looking for some creeps, and he's going to find them. Dave being wise to it. That HP, he's not going to go ahead and keep chasing the Gnaw. The Gnaw actually picking up another item. He's now finished off his spit damage and went into full-on weedlings. or at least the Wheeling HP. So now they're a little bit harder to kill, and the blue team, Team Gallo, are going to have to put a lot more into killing those things off. Dave might just end up dying to this solar boss. That would have been unfortunate if that had happened. Leon going in for the attacks. Leon, unfortunately, not quite able to pick off the Yuri. And right now, things are looking really good for the red team. They have slightly more kills. They have a lot of extra farm. But it's not so much more. Actually, now looking at the numbers, they're almost equal to the blue team. So, despite the fact that they got a Na who's just wrecking face in terms of solar, he's only 100 ahead of the Yuri. And overall, both teams have the same amount of solar, so that's actually really quite good. Although that's going to change fairly soon. Nello Dante taking a bunch of damage, but he's going to be fine. The heal off of Yuri Bubble just barely almost saving him. Oh, that looks so close. I wish I could have told what would have happened there. So, as you can see, Yuri going for the speed up. He was trying to avoid getting snare bit in the first place, but not quite a thing. Johnny Person taking a lot of damage. Leon putting out a lot of damage onto the Yuri. The Yuri is going to be able to speed away with his heal bubble, and he's going to be perfectly fine. The bottom turret goes down to Psychic Bob in the meantime, split pushing like a boss. And the red team now only have to worry about this top turret if they want to get a little bit of extra solar for their bags, which they are now looking to fill up. Clunk also picking up explode damage now, so that's going to hurt a lot. Coco going for ball damage to Chuck's board. I'm not sure. No Heavenly Blaze yet. So Chuck's board, just the one rank in it. Okay, a little bit of extra blaze damage. Now Don's taking a bunch of extra damage. And yeah, he has to be careful. Now that there's tongue into Weedlings, into everything, like he's actually a really vulnerable character, despite being a Skull Deer. And now there's this Super Droid coming in on the bottom. Yuri going in for a mine. He's just trying to cut off Psychic Bob's ability to go down there and support this push. This push still happening though. It's going to deal about a bar's worth of damage to the turret if the blue team doesn't react to it, and they did. So yeah, dealt about 2 bars worth of damage. A little bit more than I expected. Tongue into Snare Bite into Explode. Nello Dante, however, does dodge the Explode. All the solar on the ground, and unfortunately the red team ends up picking it up anyway. So despite the fact that they didn't end up, the red team didn't end up blast hitting that turret, they still got all the solar. So Team Gallo looking like they're in a rough spot right now, especially with Leon just keeping on top of people, going for the range on his tongue now. He's going pure initiator for his team, not even bothering to go for sword damage. That's not his thing. Oh, speaking of his thing is killing this Yuri. The Yuri goes down to Psychic Bob's immense amounts of poison damage. He now has bite poison as well. And Johnny Person going in for the flank, but the flank isn't going to quite end up working because he takes a fist to the face, which stuns him. Does he have the rubber ducky? Yep. Nello Dante does have rubber ducky, so that is a stun punch. And it does heal him as well. So, Nello Dante going in for a Skull Deer CC build with snare into lots of stun punches. That's a really good way to go about things. It really hurts the Clunk. Psychic Bob just doing some split pushing on the side here. So, taking advantage of the fact that Johnny Person and Wilbo Baggy are doing a really good job of putting a lot of pressure up top. But the blue team comes in from behind. Psychic Bob takes a mine to the face and he takes a lightning ball and he goes down. Johnny Person gets thrown, not quite into the mine. Nello Dante is saying, no, you're staying here with me. And he keeps punching him in the face. Earthquake coming out, snaring him. Wilbo Baggy also taking a snare, but Nello Dante deciding, you know what, I'm a little bit too low to go against that Leon. We're going to back off. And that gives 2 kills to Team Gallo. 2 kills that they desperately needed to pick up on the solar. So Coco now picking up the Thunder Striker. Thunder Striker being an excellent pickup for them. It helps get rid of the Clunk. It helps deal with pretty much everybody on the other team, seeing as they've got 2 melee characters. That's really important for them to have that ranged ability to kind of control where the other team is. There, Yuri now picking up a bit of extra. Nope, he's just going for heals, and he's now got cooldown as well as one of the mine damage upgrades. Oh, Psychic Bob looking for a way in. Johnny Person looking for a bite, but he doesn't quite get it. And lightning ball coming out. It's not going to hit anybody. Leon takes a fit to the face. Johnny Person going to just missile up some stuff. Nello Dante punching up those Weedlings. Johnny Person looking for a place to go ahead and get a snare bite and an explode. Psychic Bob just kind of hiding in the back. He wants to get some HP and spit and help out. Nello Dante's getting the throw. There's going to be a snare quake on there as well. Johnny Person taking a lot of extra damage. Lightning ball coming out as well. And Johnny Person is going to get killed by a fist to the face. Almost taking out Gallow's PO as well, however. So, that looked really bad. That was a really good throw out of Nello Dante. Nello Dante looking for another throw, though. Snare quake into punching, into more punching, into punching to death. That was the end of that. Another really good throw. Actually, no, that wasn't even a throw. There was no throw. There was just a snare quake and a lot of really good body blocking at Nello Dante. And they take their first turret of the game, which they desperately needed. Team Gallo have lost 2 already, and the momentum is keeping on going. Nello Dante just punching away. Team Gallow's PO just doing his best to put out some mines and stuff. Johnny Person coming in, though. Johnny Person does not like Nello Dante on his turret, and he's going to go ahead and force him out just by being there and saying, hey, I got an explode, screw off, guy. And now the bottom turret going down, or at least taking some damage from Dave, who's left-clicking with some droids. Nello Dante helping support, and Yuri is putting some mines to help just dissuade anybody from dropping from above. Johnny Person gonna go ahead and try to drop from above anyway. Gets Snare Quake into Explode, into a lot of extra damage. He takes his own damage and ends up dying. He does not have the damage reduction upgrade on his Explode. Nello Dante looking for another punch. He gets it. He's going for another punch. That heal's not going to happen. He's going to have to run out of there. Psychic Bob is going to end up kicking up the HP and not getting hit by the Solar Boss. What a brave Gnaw. Just saying, you know what? I'm going to hide behind the Solar Boss and I'm going to try to teleport. It was the only option he had and he made it work. Team Gallo now picking up the bottom turret here, and that equalizes the turrets in terms of the numbers. Psychic Bob is in a bad spot now, though. He manages to slip through the cracks and gets away from the Coco, who now has almost full ball damage, who has now 2 ranks in Chuck's board as well. Skoldier now picking up the double-sided Snare Quakes that I love so much. Those are so strong against Leon and Gnaw, and I can only imagine that it's going to continue to be a powerful force. Yuri's going for heals on his bubble, or at least he's had them for quite some time, and that's been helping out a lot in these team fights as well. Knockback Ball going to send off flying, but in the wrong direction. I'm sure that they wanted to get him closer. Psychic Bob taking a mine to the face, taking a punch to the face. Psychic Bob is maybe in a rough spot, but he's going to get away just fine. He's going to pick up the HP as well, but he goes ahead and walks right back in. And that's not going to be anything. Double-sided Snare Quake going to hit the Leon, going to hit the Clunk, but the Clunk doesn't really care. He can just bite stuff, and he goes right back up to being fine. Psychic Bob getting caught by this Yuri from behind. He takes a mine. He takes a ball. He's going to bounce upstairs. Is he going to get away? Between all the damage he took, I am surprised. Is he going to be able to make it? Nah, there's a lot of left clicking. There's a blaze, and there he goes. Psychic Bob running the wrong way, unfortunately. Dave looking to get some HP, so he's going to manage that. Johnny Person gets thrown. He does not get Snare Quaked, but might he get Thunder Striked? He gets Thunderstruck. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough because there's no throw that could come out quite in time. Nello Dante unable to get that throw off. So Johnny Person is going to be perfectly fine. Nas dropping back down as we speak. And Team Gallo is looking like they've turned this around. A couple of good throws. That one double kill that they managed to pick up. Nello Dante needs to run. He gets exploded. Johnny Person's explode finally hitting the right people. And he's going to have to run away, though. He's got a little bit too low HP to deal with this Yuri. And the long-range, thunder-striking, super lightning balling Coco. This Coco proving to be a disastrously powerful character for Team Gallo right now. And that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about Coco. Coco is an extremely good late game character, but she can be useful early as well. So I fully expect her to continue to be this influential character in these matches. Psychic Bob taking a bunch of damage from mines, from lightning balls, whatever else have you. Oh, and the lightning ball almost coming out to kill Psychic Bob, but it's not quite on point. Psychic Bob just managed to jump over it. Good luck with the platforms. Thunderstriker coming out. They're all looking for things to do. Nello Dante's going to get that throw off, though. Double-sided Snare Quick. It's going to hit. Johnny Person taking a lot of extra damage. Is he going to look to get that explode off? Nope, he goes down to Earthquake damage. Psychic Bob going to go ahead and try to just hold his own, and he's managing. Yuri's looking for him. He found him, and Yuri's just going to go ahead and mine up the lane. Yuri picking up mine damage now. Oh, bubble. It's a punching. It's a throwing. It's a snare quaking. Is Psychic Bob going to get away from this? No, he's not. One punch, one laser, he's done. And that will be 11-7 now for Team Gallo. Looking really good all of a sudden. Where did this come from? I think it has to do a lot with Clunk's just falling off at this point. We mentioned before how Skoldier plus Coco with knockback can really change where Clunk is and can really affect his ability to explode on people. And between at least 2 or 3 fights where Clunk has had a very hard time, like just trying to explode on people and make it count, he killed himself twice, practically, with his own damage. So whether or not Clunk decides to go for that extra hard hat damage reduction to save himself or whatever, throw coming out, a snare quake, it's going to hit 2 people. Johnny Person's not going to explode on anybody, but Gallo's PO taking a lot of damage. He's going to just hide in the back now. When they're looking for a throw, they're going to get a throw. They're going to get a double-sided snare quake. They're going to get a lot of extra damage, but Nello Dante in the wrong place at the wrong time. He gets tongued, he gets backstabbed a couple times, and he gets bitten. He gets dead. Dave looking to get a Thunder Striker out on Johnny Person here. Johnny Person trying to get the bite, but it's just not good enough, and he ends up dodging it. Oh, they're looking for a bite to explode, and they're going to get it. Dave goes down to a well-placed, no, a good sword strike. I swore that missile's the one that hit and killed. But now it's just Yuri against this entire red team. Momentum completely shifting in the favor of the red team. This is looking really good. They're going to go ahead and take advantage of this and split push as best as they can. Now that Leon has the ability to do 12 damage per sword strike, that's a lot of extra push. 12 damage is that magic number, by the way. If you can get 12 damage on any auto attack, that means that you can one-shot neutral creeps. It means that you can just jungle a lot quicker. It means that you can do a lot of extra damage. I don't know why, but as soon as you get 12 damage on that auto attack, things are good. Now Dante just looking for people to punch and stun and just throw into the rest of his team, but he's just not able to find that opening. He's continuing to be the initiator for his team, though, picking up pills on top of everything else that he's got. He's just looking for sustains, that way he doesn't die in these fights quite as often. Yuri doing the same thing. He's got pills. Coco's got pills. The only team that doesn't have pills, really, is the other team. The red team has no red pills anywhere. They've gone for full-on damage in most cases. So that would explaining why the blue team had to go for pills, really. At this point, the game stands with blue team having the least HP on their turrets, but everybody having approximately the same amount. Like, they're actually really even. Psychic Bob going for a little bit of lane clear here. Throw coming out on Johnny Person. Johnny Person's explode, not gonna. Oh, it is gonna hit Nello Dante. Nello Dante just looking for a third punch. He's gonna barely. Nope, he's gonna get tongued to death. Dave goes down too. Gallow's PO looking to just get a little bit of laser damage, but he can't quite do it, and he's gonna have to run, but he's not gonna be able to manage. Or is he? He did manage to get out of there. That was really, really good. Tonguing, slicing, and everything, and it still couldn't quite kill him. So, pills, boots. I guess Yuri has boots. Yeah, he's got boots. And speed up on the bubble. Gonna be enough to keep him alive. Psychic Bob split pushing down here, taking full advantage of the fact that there's only one person left defending on the blue team. And the red team is just doing their best to clear lanes and to push in and get some damage on those flipping towers. Wilbo Baggy is just waiting for it up here. And unfortunately, due to Thunder Striker, he's just not going to fight a punch into. No, the throw just doesn't quite do it. If that throw had landed, that would have been a very dead Leon. Now Dante just probably cursing his luck right now. Yuri mining up the bottom here, just keeping the lane equilibrium right where it is, and the blue team goes right to clearing out those weedlings. This is now an even game. Oh, bite, explode, and it's not going to hit. Oh, wait, no, it's going to hit two people. Johnny Person going to hit Nello Dante and everything. Psychic Bob taking a lot of damage, though, from the Thunderballs, and that's about it. So both teams kind of bounce off each other, do an almost equivalent amount of damage, and then heal up and go right back to things. Now, it's a little bit easier for the red team to heal up, considering that they've got full control of the jungle, a Clunk who can bite stuff, and a Leon. Does Leon have any life steal yet? It does not look like it. No, he does have pills and stealth now, so he can go ahead and tongue out of stealth, which is a really important and very strong initiation tool, as we can see right here. Throw is not going to end up, is going to cause the explode to not end up hitting anybody. But it looks like Johnny Person's taking less damage. Does he actually have the hard hat? No, he does have the second rank in damage, though, so that is going to hurt every time that thing lands. The other thing that Johnny Person does have as well is frag shells on his left click, which means that he can clear lanes a lot easier without having to use his explode or his bite. He can now hold on to those two abilities for the big team fights. Punch coming out is going to hit a couple of people. Wilbo Baggy taking one to the face as well. Now Dante is just going to, punch it off / get healed by his buddy Yuri. Wilbo Baggy is looking for initiation. He's going to find it on the Yuri, and then he's just going to bounce away. So at this point, this is a really tense game of footsie knots. That's what's going on. People are just looking for an opening, looking for a chance to kill somebody. Nello Dante going for the throw into the spit, but it's not going to be enough. Everybody taking a bunch of spit damage, and Psychic Bob is going to get away due to a misplaced lightning ball. If he had just not lightning ball and just let the solar boss done his thing, he might have gotten a kill there. But there are two people, and the two people left over are Coco and Yuri. The two of them can and probably will keep the lanes cleared until Nello Dante can come back. He'll be back down and in the fight in another 15 seconds, as he just started his drops take about 10 seconds. It takes about 5 seconds to get to places they need to be, but oh no! P.O. taking a tongue into a lot of slicing into death. Johnny Person taking a lot of mines, but he's not going to care. He's a Clunk with a lot of HP, and he's going to just walk it off. So, things looking really good for Team SKC right now as they start to put the lane equilibrium back in their favor. Nello Dante getting a throw, getting a bunch of punches, but it's not going to do anything because Leon shows up and says, "Hey, get off my friend," and he got off his friend. So that's the end of that. Items. Wow, that's a lot of them. There's lifesteal on Yuri, that's an important pickup, and there's slow on Coco's Blaze and speed up. So Blaze now being a zoning tool as well as anything else. Hopefully the Scoldier into Coco Blaze combo pulls off for Gallo. On the other team we've got Missile Salvo, extra poison damage, and a couple of ranks and pills finally being picked up on the Gnaw. So that's how things are looking. Gnaw is not the only thing that's picking up interesting items either. Scoldier picking up gnomes, so now he's finally dealing some actual damage when he initiates. But we'll see if it's enough. Gallow's PO taking a lot of damage. He is going to end up getting away, and Johnny Person's looking for an opening. Nello Dante clearing out the jungle of weeds. Wilbo Baggy just clearing out the top lane as well. Psychic Bob is going to go ahead and be perfectly fine. He's going to end up helping take out Nello Dante, who's looking for a punch and couldn't quite find it. Gets killed by all the poison damage that Psychic Bob can put out, and he has a lot of it. He has the bite poison, he's got the spit poison, and the bite poison even has the reduced damage time. So regen not even as big a factor anymore against Psychic Bob. That damage, the time reduction ability on his bite is pretty vital. Actually, if you're going to go for the bite poison damage, it allows you to kind of outpace regen a good deal, and will help net you a couple of extra kills. Dave looking to just keep the lanes off of his turret, and he's managing. Upstairs, though, the split push is real with Wilbo Baggy just clearing out the lane, and the droids are walking in. And here it comes. Wilbo Baggy's going to put in a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Snare Quake into throw into everything, and that's a lot of pain, but the rest of his team isn't there. Nello Dante, unfortunately, unable to pick up a kill. And PO just mining up the bottom area here, making sure that no creep shall pass. There really should be a Gandalf skin for Yuri, too, if we're going to be perfectly honest here. Johnny Person looking for an explode, but he can't quite find it. Yuri being really smart and hiding around in this area here. Dave looking to clear out some weedlings. He's not going to be able to find a way in. Punch going to not land on anybody, so Nello Dante's initiation not going to end up happening. And it goes right back to being a game of footsie/fisty knots, which might end up being a short-lived one if Gallo's PO doesn't end up being a little bit more safe around here. It was almost picked off. Slowly but steadily, the red team is making headway. They do have access to the full jungle. Wilbo Baggy taking a lot of damage. He's going to be out of this fight for the duration of it, if there is a duration to this fight at all. And it looks like that's not going to be the case. Nello Dante taking way too much damage and unable to find another opening, so he's going to go right back down to it. Yuri's now up here, though, and he's going to have to go all the way around to get down here. So the droids are finally going to pick up. This is where Coco comes in. She's just going to go ahead and take out these droids before they get to the turret with a well-placed Thunder Striker. Thunder Striker! Johnny Person and Psychic Bob looking to team up together to get a good opening onto somebody. Wilbo Baggy looking to do the same. Wilbo Baggy is also now coming to a point where Leon is the carry. He is the main backbone of this team. Johnny Person, not so much. He did his job. He got a couple of good double explodes in a couple of really important team fights. Bite Snare Explode is just going to end up hitting, and it's not going to end up killing, though, because he picks up the HP right before he runs out of life points to Gnaw's Spit. So that was really touch and go for a second there, but PO manages to get out of there just fine. Psychic Bob putting a Wheeling Bears out with this Solar Boss is just constantly pissed off and spitting. That's a really cool little tactic to help just cement the fact that the blue team has to go the long way around no matter which way they go, and it just makes things difficult for everybody now. Red team taking a little bit of explode damage, but no one really cares. Nello Dante looking for an opening, but he's not going to find it. Johnny Person looking for the bite to explode. He's also not going to find it. Snare Explode. Snare Quake isn't going to end up hitting anything really important either. It harasses a little, but that's all it's going to do. Nello Dante looking for the throw, but instead he jumps into a bite spot, and he gets picked off. So that's a 3v2. It's a power play, technically speaking, for the red team here. SKC looking to go ahead and cement a win here with that small mistake on Nello Dante, costing him his life. Psychic Bob was a bit low, but he's going to just go ahead and pick up a lot of life right back up because he has access to the entire jungle even when he's not there. That's such a strong ability on late game. If you can control that jungle, it's brutal. Lots of damage coming out on this top tower. Johnny Person just tanking it and knocking down a couple of bars. Dave just looking to get him away. And the damage has been done, though. This chip is slowly happening. And with Johnny Person's ability to just do a lot of damage now that he's got double snare missiles, P.O. taking a lot of damage, he's going to go ahead, and he was a little bit too greedy against the Psychic Bob. And unfortunately, Leon just turning that fight completely in the red team's favor, as if Psychic Bob wasn't winning that one already. Dave coming in from behind. Might it be enough? Nope, that's a miss. That's a miss ball. Nelodonte coming in from behind too, though. They're looking to try to get something done, but Johnny Person's just gonna land and explode. There's gonna be a spit. There's gonna be a lot of damage coming out on Nelodonte. Nelodonte goes down. Dave, the last one standing, with the last turret standing up there, but that doesn't even matter. They're going straight for the core. Lightning ball coming out. It's not gonna end up hitting anybody. Coco, unfortunately, not being able to do anything, and lots of damage coming out to boot. So this is tough. He's gonna get away from there. Yo, gonna do some damage. Dave is gonna go down to snare into a lot of stuff, and this is the end of this game. So SKC starting off strong, but then Gallo tried to turn things back around on them, and it almost worked. It almost worked. And then a couple of team fights happened, and in those couple of team fights, the Clunk was the key factor, landing Explode on 2 people, followed up by a lot of really good damage output from the Leon and the Gnaw. So Leon showing his power in the current metagame. Wow, that was a really good match. Lots of back and forth, really entertaining. SKC coming out on top to win the first match of the series, so that's really good for them. But Gallo looking for blood. I'm sure that they're going to do a really good job in the second match, but we'll have to see if they can actually keep this series going, or if their league ambitions are going to go and take a hit here. They're not out. It's a league, not a tournament. So, you know, they'll still keep playing. But SKC, can they bring this in a 2-0 victory? We'll find out in the next match. I have been SlowWolf casting this game, and I'll see you in the next one.